Hello, this is Audrey, and today I am working on Juju Brain. I'm just working on some room designs for Juju. I'm going to go through a couple of different sketches and then kind of a final sketch of putting together a bunch of pieces that I liked and I didn't like. But for the most part, these are all just concept sketches and no final art or design. But yeah, this was kind of the beginning stages of us figuring out Juju as a person, at least for me as a background designer. I think a lot can be said about a character and how they decorate their space, and how clean it is, how dirty it is, how they have things arranged, the little things on their shelves and the pictures that they hang up. I think all of it kind of combines to create a deeper story to a character than just what straight meets the eye. And with each of these rooms, I kind of go for the same type of layout, really simple, pretty small, nothing too crazy, but more of just a realistic space of a preteen who loves posters and art, loves music, loves playing guitar, and kind of figuring out herself as a person. So that means kind of having a mix of both maybe childhood stuff like teddy bears and bean bags and weird toys, but then also kind of teenage things like makeup and maybe sports, maybe nicer clothes or messier rooms, just typical teenage things. So, going on to just kind of the painting style that I did for these pieces, I started with a rough sketch, as you saw, and I turned the opacity down on those sketches and just start kind of blocking in shapes. This is probably my favorite way to get my idea across in my concept art. I don't really harp on getting the details super rendered, making sure that everything looks super realistic. I'm just trying to get a rough idea across of the space that I would like to create, and it creates kind of a basis that I can later use to actually fully, properly draw a space that Juju can walk around, kind of be able to be in. So this is not, I think, a good animatable space, but just a rough idea of what could be. And there's the first design. Moving on to the second one. So with each one of these, I wanted to kind of go for a main, maybe like a main color scheme based off of a color. So the last one was pretty purple. I had a couple of like pinks and greens in there. And then with this one, I wanted it to be super sunny and bright and orange and yellow, with a couple pinks and greens in there to kind of help contrast and create different things to look at. And you'll notice some repeating items in these paintings, like guitars and amps and lava lamps and CDs. These were kind of a couple things that the creator really liked and wanted in these room designs, and so I made sure to include those in each. But for the most part, these are all just kind of based on of rooms that I would like to decorate. I've always really loved creating new room designs ever since I was little. I always wanted to be able to decorate the room of my dreams. But obviously, if I was Juju's age, I would be 10 and not know at all what interior design would be like. That does not matter, because this is art, and Juju may be an interior designer, know exactly what she wants. She's a professional. She gets paid big money. Moving on to the third bedroom. This one's a little bit grungier, I think. I wanted to go for a more rocker feel, moody and kind of green, a couple purples and blues here and there. Me and Maddie were first introduced to Juju, and were asked to kind of design our own ideas and have our own input. And sometimes that included, oh, she's really into reading, she's really into graphic novels, maybe she likes vampires, maybe she likes pop stars. And so there's this really early ideas kind of sprinkled about a lot of these room designs, just us experimenting and figuring out who Juju really is and what she likes and doesn't like. So a lot of the time, I was actually really excited that Juju loved guitar and rock/pop music because I grew up in a family where my dad played guitar a lot, so I kind of had a basis on what those things looked like. He always took me to music stores, and I loved looking at all the different guitar shapes. Some were like super jagged and angular, like the one that you see in the painting right now, and then some were shaped like flowers, some were shaped like hearts, all different colors, and they all sounded different. I just loved the variety, so I was really excited to be able to draw those. And then also to be able to like create all these fun shapes with posters. I kind of use a lasso tool to just draw out a shape, and then I fill in here and there to make it just kind of feel like it's a bunch of different posters, but it's just all one big shape. A little picture frame, a little teddy bear up on the shelf. Just adding in some details to the door, filling in the space. Put some sticky notes on the little bulletin board. She's a busy little girl, busy little 13, 11-year-old. She's got a lot of things to do, a lot of things in her mind. But yeah, and then there's that space. So moving on to this one, I kind of, or backpedal. All those last three designs I kind of turned into Tom and the creator of Juju Brain, and got some of their feedback on what they liked and what they didn't like. And I took that and moved on to create this specific room. It's always helpful, I think, to get feedback, even if, the feedback is totally negative or super positive. No matter what, it's always helpful. And I think that's something really good to keep in mind whenever your work gets critiqued, is that you can always take it and use it in your next piece to create something that's even better. And so, as you can see, they really liked, I wanted to keep the disco ball, I wanted to keep the lava lamp, the record player, the string lights, the guitar, the posters. The creator really liked the skull tapestry with the wings, which made me really happy because that was my favorite design too. And the space, I also wanted to make it a little messy. Like she was running, she was kind of getting lost in her sketchbook on the floor, drawing, and then her mom was like, okay, it's time for school, and it's 5 minutes and she's still not dressed and hasn't brushed her hair, brushed her teeth. She just runs out of the house. So I still have kind of her shoes lying about. Her dresser is very messy. She's forgotten her backpack, apparently. And then also, with this one, it is kind of more, let's say, red-based, pink-based room. But the creator really didn't want a single color scheme for these spaces, which was a good note to know. It led me in the direction to create a more diverse color scheme, which I personally relate to. My rooms have never been one simple color scheme, especially when I was little. I had no idea how to do any of that, so I had tons of greens and blues and pinks and yellows and oranges all over the place. And so I definitely relate more to this room aesthetically. Just kind of crazy for the most part. still blocking in my shapes, seeing what kind of, what I want people to look at in a piece has been a kind of a learning experience for me, because I do enjoy creating backgrounds that give you a lot to look at, but I also know that sometimes backgrounds need a little bit more direction. And so even though this piece I don't think is a great example of directing the eye to a certain thing in a room, or creating a space that's aesthetically pleasing to look at, but this internship has been a really good learning experience, especially hearing from other artists and from Tom. I think I've been able to hone my craft and figure out what works best for me too. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. This is kind of a compilation of a bunch of different sketches that I did over a course of about 2 weeks, just to give a bit of perspective to the type of work that we're doing here at Pencilish Animation Studios. And go check out the other artists and videos here up on the channel. A lot of good content, a lot of good people as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.